What's up, everybody? Welcome in on the Riot Podcast. Get started here in just a quick second. Live on Facebook, on YouTube.
All right.
Are you stealing my all right? Sounds like you're stealing my all right.
All right.
I hate you.
Is that your all right?
Kind of. Like, all right.
All right.
Yeah, baby, you scared.
All right.
All right, share. More options, share to a page. Okay, there's that. Boom. I'm going to share the... we're live on YouTube also. Yeah, there we are. Good. What's up, YouTube? All right, almost ready, y'all. We're going to share these out, and we'll get rolling. Okay. Boom. All right. All right. You ready? Hey, Stephen Miller, Matthew Rogelio. What's up, good peeps? What's up? All right. Any other pages? You want to share it like the Tractions page or something?
Sure.
You should do that. Do you have access to that as an admin?
Mm-mm.
Oh, cool. All right. Are you ready to start?
Yep.
Okay.
This is the Riot Podcast with Matt Moscona and Ryan Terrio. One is an athlete, the other an athletic supporter. Follow the guys on Twitter at Matt Moscona and at rterrio7. Here's Matt and Ryan.
Okay, Riot Podcast. He's Ryan. I'm Matt. We're presented by both Friendly Power Sports and Dr. Green's Ideal Mattress. I'm glad to have you hanging out with us here on a Tuesday in Baton Rouge. We record this actually live on the 104.5 ESPN Facebook and YouTube channels. All right, dude.
Hey, man.
So, we actually kind of have a lot to delve into here over the next 30 minutes or so. It's kind of an odd time that we're doing this because this is LSU Bama week. And this is normally a gigantic week in these parts. Usually college game days in town. It's the SEC on CBS. So often it's been the primetime kickoff. It's been the game that everybody looks forward to. It's the one everybody circles on the SEC schedule at the beginning of the year. And it may not happen. So quick to catch everybody up to date, we're recording this at 11 a.m. Central Time on Tuesday. Ed Ogeron last week on his coach's show announced that they had a little COVID outbreak. Monday, Ed met with the media and said they're preparing to play Alabama, but they have had a COVID outbreak, and he wouldn't go into any further detail about numbers or anything like that. But as more things start to leak out, it very much seems like this game is in doubt. I wanted to ask you, because this topic really became a conversation on AFR, my radio show, on Monday, and it caught me off guard. But it seems like most LSU fans don't want this game played or would be quite okay with this game being canceled. What is your thought of it as a fan? First, as a fan.
I don't want to watch the game as a fan. I mean, listen. If you personally knew, you were walking in to get your butt kicked. So somebody's going to kick your butt in a fight. It's going to happen. Would you willingly, would you be excited about going to do? I'm not saying LSU's copping out and doing anything dirty to not play the game. I'm just saying, I don't want to get my butt kicked. That's not something that sounds like a whole lot of fun to me. You know, I don't know. I mean, that's my thought. Look, I get the game's on the schedule. You got to play it, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, come on, man. I mean, if we can not play this thing this year, I'm good with that.
All right, that was your take as a fan.
Yeah.
Is your take as an athlete any different?
Well, you're going to bring a butter knife to a gunfight. I mean, we've heard the rumors of all the players that they're possibly down, that are some pretty important guys on the team. If for some reason you can field the 53-guy roster that they have to field, and you have, multiple quarterbacks and blah, 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 whatever it is that they have to have, I mean, who's the quarterbacks and who's the running backs? I mean, at some point it comes down to we're going to go into this thing with one hand tied behind our back. We were going into it with a hand tied behind our back before this even happened. No, I mean, if from a player's standpoint, like let's say I was one of the guys that was healthy and that was able to go. I mean, at some point you got to be able to self-evaluate, Matt, look in the mirror and go, this probably isn't a smart thing to do at this point. That's just me. And you know me as a player, like I'm always ready to go get it done, but this.
That's why I'm so bummed, man. I'm so bummed to hear you say that. Because that is such a chicken bleep way to go about this. It just is, man. Like, with that logic, why would Northwestern State ever come to Baton Rouge to play a game?
Well, they're coming to get
why would Nichols ever choose to go play a Power 5 team? Why would any of those games that are on the schedule ever be put on the schedule that are solely for the purpose of a team to come get their behind whipped? Why would Kansas even bother to play their games this year? Why would any team who's ever been an underdog ever choose to go play? Why would the Americans in 1980 have even bothered to go play the Russians in the Miracle on Ice? Listen, I'm with you in that we all feel like there's a certain air of inevitability that LSU would lose the game on Saturday. But anytime you play, of course, to steal the line from Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. But you also understand that there are odds and percentages, and a lot of times things don't work in your favor. But just because something doesn't work in your favor, you're going to walk away? Like, that is such a chicken bleep way to live. Not just in sports, but in life. One of the things that's great about sports is sports provides us often so many life lessons. And you know what? Sometimes in life, you get your ass kicked.
That's right.
Sometimes in life bends you over, pulls down your pants, and swift kicks you right in the ass. That happens in life. And you know what? You hope you learn from that, and you get better from it. And who knows what could happen Saturday. I'm not sitting here telling you I'd pick LSU to win. Of course I would not pick LSU to win Saturday against Alabama if they played that game. But to sit here and say you think you'd lose so you'd rather not play the game is ludicrous to me. To anyone who's ever been an underdog and considered a long shot in a game, why would Buster Douglas have even gotten in the ring against Mike Tyson? He was such a long shot. You know what I mean? And I get it that I'm bringing up like generational upsets, things that we'll remember for all time because they were that historic in nature. But if you just walked away because the odds were against you, you never have that opportunity. It's maddening to me that this is the mindset of a program that bro, 11 months ago was standing in the Superdome, winning a national championship, capping off the most dominant season ever. Now here we are a few months later, and people are like, I don't even want to play that game. We get our ass kicked.
Well,
give me a break, man.
Here's the difference, though. And through all your analogies you just used, which were good ones, I get it. The Northwestern and the Power 5, blah, blah, okay. This is a rivalry that's been said for the last, 10 years, ever since Saban went to Alabama, that this is the one that's been circled, that you got to win this game. Got to win this game if you want to win the West.
That's so bogus.
Bogus or not bogus?
It's not the truth this year.
Okay, but it's the one.
It doesn't matter this year because LSU's not going to win the West.
I get it, but I'm saying in the years past, this is the game.
Well, that isn't the years past. This isn't years past. This is right now.
This is why the feeling is the way that it is.
It's irrelevant, man.
It's always been that way. Though.
No. That's such BS, man. Like, you can talk yourself out of this in circles in whatever way you want to do it. But the bottom line is that game is on your schedule. That's a rival that you have to play, and it's on your schedule. And the fact that you want to dodge it because things aren't going well for you this year is such chicken bleep, man. How can the competitor, are you kidding me? Bro, you won 2 World Series. You won a national championship. Like, you would sit here and run away from a game?
We'll play them again next year. We're going to get them next
I
year.
don't believe you, bro. I don't believe you. I know you as a person, as competitive as you are, to say you'd walk away from this. Like, if you were on that team right now, you'd be like, yeah, guys, let's not do this weekend.
First off, it's not the player's choice.
I understand that, but I'm asking you from a player's standpoint.
From a player's standpoint.
If you have the 53 and you can go play, you'd be like, no, coach, I'm good. I don't really feel like going out there this weekend.
Well, of course I wouldn't say that. I mean, if that was the case from a player's standpoint, then yeah, you got to strap it on and you go play and you go get them. But if you have a choice because of something like this with COVID, dude, come on, man.
You always have a choice. You can walk away and quit, not play. You can quit the team.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand what you're saying. But
It's so sad, man. Like, the amount of fans who are just running from this. You know, I get it. Like, I get it.
I'm out.
Then be out.
Play the game.
Then be out. Stay your ass at home and sit on the sideline like a little ninny. Can't believe that, man.
I'm not taking that butt whipping if I don't have to, Coach. I'm just being honest with you. We'll get them next year. We play them every year. Every year this time, we play them every single year. No fans in the stands, no game day, no I'm out on that.
But you were okay going to Missouri and playing a home game at Missouri.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't want to do that. I mean, fans in the stands. You're like every game. There's no fans in the stands. And you lost.
That's right.
Precisely why you go play the game, man. That's why the competitor you wants to play the game.
I understand that. My point is, it's Missouri. This is Alabama.
And so what you're acknowledging is that you're not shit.
No.
That's what you're acknowledging.
Have you watched the season this year? What do you think's going to happen?
I see, and this is Facebook and YouTube, so I can curse. You know what I see? And I'm upset about this because you know what I see? I see Derek Stingley, who's going to be a first-round draft pick.
Okay.
I see Ali Gay, who has eyes on being a draft pick. I see Jabril Cox and Damone Clark. Jabril Cox came here to solidify his draft status. I see Elias Ricks, who was the number one corner in the country. I see Jacoby Stevens, who got the 7 and basically came back to try to increase his draft status as well. I see guys like B.J. Ojolari, who's a freak show freshman. I see seniors like Neil Farrell and Glenn Logan. I go, where's your pride? Where's your pride?
We've been screaming about
I look
where's
on the
your
other
pride
side.
since
I look
the
on the
season
other side,
started.
and I see Terrace Marshall, and I see John Trey Kirkland, and I see all these freak shows. I see the highest rated tight end in the history of 247. I see quarterbacks that were 4 stars that are running out there trying to play. I see a senior grad transfer at center. I see Ed Ingram, who's played a ton of ball. Austin Deculus, who's made almost 40 starts in his career. And you're just going to, like, run and hide? Like, how about have some pride, play your best damn game of the season, and go try to win a game? It's probably not going to go your way. I get it. I know what Alabama is this year and the way LSU's played. But how about you let the fear of having your ass kicked actually motivate you to go play well and win this game? It just bothers me, man. It bothers me so much that this fan base right now is adopting this mindset of, well, we're going to lose. Let's just not play them. It's like, it's tired. It's embarrassing, actually, is what it is. It's really stinking embarrassing. Like, 1 year ago yesterday, you're on the field in Tuscaloosa celebrating a 46-41 win, and a year later, you're scared to even play that team. Weak. I don't have the Kick Rocks open, so you're just going to have to.
How many points do you think they would score, Bama?
Upper 40s?
How many would LSU score?
20s?
Yeah.
I think spread's probably about right. I'd go like a 48-21 type game if I had to pick it. Man, it's sad. All right, glad you're aboard with us here. It is the Riot Podcast. We don't have access to our elements, so I apologize for that. Something's going on with our laptop here. So anyway, we'll get to Kick Rocks here in just a quick second. We always wrap up as well with your questions. So if you're watching us live on Facebook, on YouTube, fire away. Any question you have about anything. It's really a fun, loosen the collar type segment. So feel free to jump board with us if you would. All right, what do you have for Kick Rocks?
Okay, so I love this.
Do you?
Yeah, Mike Leach is so good.
So good.
He is. I mean, he's a horrible coach, but when you put a microphone in front of this guy, it is awesome. I love it.
You know what's interesting? I'm going to clip this because, you know, my son Drew loves to watch videos of you. I don't know why, but he does. Like, he has an obsession with you. And so, Drew, for those who know, Drew's 6. He's a special needs kid. But anyway, he'll watch videos on our phone of old shows. Right. And there's one of the letter you wrote on AFR, and it's the letter you wrote when LSU played Mississippi State. And there's a clip where you just tee off on Mike Leach. And you're like, you hired Captain Jack Sparrow straight off the Black Pearl to coach your football team. And then you said the coach is basically a drunk who sounds like an idiot every time he opens. But you were crushing him. You weren't saying you loved him. Yeah. You were talking about how embarrassing he is and how much he stinks. And now you're saying you love it. So which is it? With
a microphone in front of him, I think he's great.
That's not what you were saying on your letter.
Yeah, I've changed my mind on that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. So Mike Leach thinks that he had COVID in March.
Okay.
Right? So he went to speak at some deal in Boston in March and, says he felt bad for 3 or 4 days and it took him a couple weeks to kind of recover, a month or so, just catching up on sleep, didn't really feel right, whole deal. But the fact that this is on USA Today's sports, and this is like a real story, can kick rocks because Mike Leach thinks he may have had COVID in March.
Might have.
How many people have you heard say, yeah, I think I had it in blah?
I did.
I had it in blah.
I did last December.
I had it in blah.
Before we were really testing and knew what COVID was, when I went to the SC Championship game last year, came back and I went and tested for strep, flu, was negative for all those viruses, and what I had presented as COVID is presenting. So I think I had it in December,
Yeah.
I think I got it in Atlanta, which makes sense. It was at a major international airport hub. I think I picked it up there. Our whole staff got sick. Jimmy Ott had pneumonia, as a result of that. He got very, very ill. I mean, I think I had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But USA Today can kick rocks for making that an actual story because if I've heard one, I've heard 500 people say, yeah, I think I had it then.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
So what you're saying though is that they're pandering.
It shouldn't be a story.
While you're talking about USA Today, can I go off on USA Today again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so USA Today is an absolute embarrassment. They fired or laid off really good, reputable, hardworking reporters, people like George Schroeder, and have retained total morons and panderers like Christine Brennan, the moron that I teed off on for saying that the Big Ten's decision to play is the greatest travesty in the history of that league. Never mind the fact that they had Jerry Sandusky in that league raping children and administrators covering it up. But the Big Ten's decision to play mid-COVID, worst decision in the history. Yeah. What a loser. Dan Wolken, another total loser. And now you've got Nancy Armour, another absolute total loser, who yesterday quote tweeted the video of the Saints dancing in the locker room. And her tweet read, Saints trying to unseat the Raiders as the NFL's least responsible team when it comes to COVID protocols. Hey, Nance. By the way, all of those giant-ass men were sweating, bleeding, spitting on each other for 3 hours on the field, not wearing masks. If you think doing the gritty in the locker room for 10 minutes after the game is somehow going to cause a massive outbreak, you are the problem. You are a gigantic loser. You are what is crippling our country right now. You are what is ruining small businesses, what is ruining the emotional stability of children who are unable to go to school and are staring at computer monitors all day to learn. It's because of idiots like you. You are a moron who is ruining the fabric of our country, and I'm pissed off at people like you, and I'm not staying silent anymore. Because idiots like Nancy Armour and Christine Brennan and Dan Wolken and all these morons who are employed by USA Today are supposed to be thought leaders that are propping up this propaganda, which is ruining the fabric of our society. And I'm sick of it. She is a moron. How in the world could you logically look at people playing an NFL game who have had Q-tips shoved up their nose? They're tested. They're all negative. Everybody's good. They go play a game for 3 hours, but then in a post-game locker room, they're dancing the gritty, and she has a problem with it. She is a grade A loser, moron, dope, idiot, any other word I can say that I couldn't normally say on the radio that I wish I could say explicitly, because I would love to call her that to her face. She is a loser, and I wish everybody would go crush that loser on Twitter and every way they could right now, because that is absolutely void of logic, and the fact that she has an audience is mind-boggling to me. The fact that there are actually people in our country or in our world that would listen to that woman or read anything she has to say is mind-boggling.
Who is
to
it?
me.
What's her name?
Her name is Nancy Armour, and she is a loser. Please clip this, send it to her, and tell her she has an open invite to come talk to me anytime she wants, because she is coming void of logic.
Tony La Russa got hired as the Chicago White Sox manager last week.
Yeah.
And I got to get my guy, and this hurts me to do this because I love Tony. But he got arrested for a DUI the day that he got hired. And it's not the first time.
Was he sleeping at the wheel again?
Yeah, that's what I'm
He
saying.
was asleep at the wheel?
I don't know.
Was he? Oh.
I don't know if he was asleep at the wheel, but this isn't the first time. It's like, come on, Tony.
It ain't funny.
It's not funny. You got to be better than that.
He's not. He's almost 80 years old. He's what he is.
Get a driver if you're going to do, it's not
real.
Like, you have money. They got Uber, they got all these other services, or you can just have somebody drive you around all day long.
I've never got that, dude.
Tony, you got to kick rocks, bro.
Especially with Uber, I'll never understand people getting DUIs. But especially if you have means, just get a driver.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Get a
Don't
driver.
get it.
The New England Patriots can kick rocks.
Okay.
Did you watch the game last night?
Most of it. And then I fell asleep in the fourth quarter, like literally just laying on the floor in the den. I just was laying on the floor and I fell asleep. And I woke up because I heard the game-winning kick and the let's go! And I was like, oh, what? And it was the game-winning kick.
The New York Jets are horrible.
Yeah, they suck.
I
They're
mean,
terrible.
this is
the worst.
This is a really bad team. Joe Flacco doesn't want to be there. It's obvious. He is merely collecting a check.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. He's getting paid a lot of money to go out there and do his thing. But they are a bad football team. And the Patriots, I mean, they won the game, but, boy, it was close. I mean, it was.
Yeah, Patriots aren't good either.
The Patriots can kick rocks.
Yeah.
I realize they've had a lot of people that have opted out this year, but it was just a bad look for the Patriots. Anyway, that's what I got.
All right. It is a Riot Podcast. Got to remind you about our friends over at Dr. Green's Ideal Mattress. Been telling you about it for a few weeks now. Super pumped, man. Dr. Green is Dr. Craig Green. He's a Baton Rouge orthopedist over at Brock, and he created the first ever, this is amazing to think, but the first ever mattress engineered by an orthopedist. An orthopedic surgeon, amazing with all the different cooling zones. You can go to the website, sleepoutsidethebox.com, sleepoutsidethebox.com. Read about all the different technology. If you go to the top where it says About the Mattress, the About the Mattress tab, at the very top, you click About the Mattress, you can see about all of the different technology, the cooling zones, all of the comfort zones, the cooling fabric, all of the subtleties there that make this one of the most technologically advanced mattresses that you could possibly sleep on. And the best part about it, they'll ship it to your door.
Right to your door.
It literally comes in a box.
Yep.
Sleepoutsidethebox.com. I have a video on my Facebook page of me opening my Dr. Green's Ideal mattress. It's incredible. It's so cool to watch. So sleep outside the box. Get to the website. You can order online. But if you're the kind that's sort of old school and you want to sleep on the mattress or like actually physically lay on it before you get it delivered, you can do that. Go to the website. There's a store locator at the top of the page, of the homepage. Go to store locator, and you'll see all of the different retail locations around the country that carry the Dr. Green's line. So you can find one near you if you go to the store locator. And then you can find the store nearest you. You can go actually lay on the mattress, order it from that retail location, or order it online at sleepoutsidethebox.com. Got mine last week.
Wonderful mattress. My back was killing me. I've told this story on here. My back was killing me. Every morning I would wake up, my back was bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
Had heard about Craig Green, Dr. Green's mattresses, gave him a shout, get one in the mail, and it was, honestly, I've had zero pain since the day I got the thing, so I'm super fired up.
You don't realize how bad your mattress is until you sleep on a good mattress.
Yeah.
We had our same mattress since we got married 9 years ago. And we got a great mattress when we got married. We had a Serta iComfort when we got married, which was, at the time, 10 years ago, a great mattress.
Mm-hmm.
But you sleep on the same mattress for 10 years, and it's like, and then you sleep on a good one, it's like,
this is what it's supposed to be.
So if you're getting married or you have back pain, sleepoutsidethebox.com. Sleepoutsidethebox.com. You can always sleep on it for 100 nights, absolutely free. Sleep on the mattress, absolutely free for 100 nights. And if you don't love it, they'll refund your money.
Mm-hmm.
Sleepoutsidethebox.com. Sleepoutsidethebox.com. All right, we're going to get to, this is my pen. We're going to get to your questions for Ask Us here in just a quick second. I do have a scenario how LSU Bama can be played I want to get to, but you also have to tell people about Friendly Power Sports.
No doubt about it. Friendly Power Sports. Shop ATVs, side-by-side, street bikes, dirt bikes, jet skis, scooters, you name it. Go to Friendly Power Sports. They've been here in Baton Rouge forever, right there on Airline Highway, Friendly Yamaha, or the Friendly Power Sports location in Slidell, same family. Check them out at friendlypowersports.com or friendlyyamaha.com. Remember, bring your trade-ins. They love the trade-ins and flip those things pretty quick. Their service department is second to none at Friendly Power Sports. Call them, ask for Brad, tell them Ryan sent you.
Okay, so I have a solution how that LSU-Bama game can be played.
Okay.
And I think that this would be agreeable because if you're LSU and you're $80 million in the hole and you only had a 5 home game season and you already lost the Missouri game, right, that had to be played in Columbia, and now you'd potentially be losing Alabama, you'd only have 3 home games. So LSU financially, I'm sure, wants to play this game. The league obviously wants it to be played for a lot of reasons. If you're Bama, you got a chance to play for a championship, you'd rather play your full slate of schedule. Like, you'd rather play 10 games as opposed to just 9.
Right.
So Bama would want the game played, obviously. And from the league and the network standpoint, you want as many TV windows as possible. Remember, every TV window is a revenue generator, right? So when you think about the NFL expanding the NFL playoffs, part of the reason is you'd add 2 more TV windows on the opening weekend of the playoffs, right? So you're adding more revenue possibilities the more TV windows you have. So the networks would obviously love for this game to be played. They would like for the full slate of the entire season to be played. So we've seen some mixing and matching already. Florida, Missouri, and Kentucky all had to sort of mix and match a little bit when Florida had their outbreak. LSU and Florida got moved to December 12th. Remember? So it's not unprecedented. We've seen this a little bit. So here's my idea. LSU and Bama play next Saturday, the 21st. Okay?
Okay.
LSU scheduled to play Arkansas that day. You move that game to December the 19th. That's the day of the SEC Championship game. So the SEC Championship game will be played that day, but so too could LSU Arkansas to get the game in.
Okay, I like that. Yep.
So you'd play both those games. Now, Bama has a game next week against Kentucky scheduled. I'd say you move Bama Kentucky to December the 12th. That's the day that's the reschedule day, right? So LSU Florida, basically the league built in a 1-week buffer from the end of the regular season to the SEC Championship in case if games needed to be moved. So Bama and Kentucky, neither team has a game on December 12th as of now. So Bama Kentucky could move to December 12th. LSU Bama could move to next Saturday, and LSU Arkansas could move to the 19th, the day of the SEC Championship game. That way, Bama plays their full slot of 10 games, as would LSU. You still maintain the home game if you're LSU. All the networks are happy. You get to play that slate of game. And if you're LSU, of course, you want the revenue from the home game. So that's a way that you could do it all.
Okay, let me ask you something. Do you think Alabama and Saban would rather play their full slate of games and not have that week off prior to the SEC Championship, or play their full slate and also have to play that week prior to?
I don't care. And I don't care what they want either. Because the bottom line is Bama and Florida are very likely going to play in the SEC Championship game. Florida has a game now against LSU the Saturday before the SEC Championship. So is it equitable to say, okay, Florida, you got to play LSU December 12th, but Bama gets a bye?
No.
So the reality is what you're asking is everybody in the league to be a good league partner. One of my buddies, Josh Bertaccini, who does mornings in Fayetteville, was like, no, not interested. I'm like, unfortunately, boss, you don't get a vote, and neither do I. He's like, well, why would Arkansas agree to that, to move the game to the 19th? I was like, they wouldn't have to. It's not really their choice. You're a member of a league, and all consenting members of the league are trying to play a full schedule. And so everyone, LSU played a home game in Missouri this year.
Yeah.
They've moved the Florida game to December. Like, LSU schedule's already been disrupted. Like, and there's other teams that have had their – Florida missed 2 straight weeks already once this year. Like, they've had games altered. It's all 14 consenting members of the SEC are trying to play a full schedule, and so everything has been labeled as tentative. So things could alter and could be moved. And I think that would happen. I mean, I think that's the most likely. Would Bama rather just scrap this game and have an open date? I mean, competitively, probably, but I don't care. And I don't think the league office is going to care either. I think the league office, the TV partners, like everyone is trying to create an equitable schedule where everybody plays their full allotment of games and you move forward. And I think that's a way that this could happen.
You think it will?
I think there is a better chance of what I just described happening than LSU Bama playing this weekend. Like I would put the game this weekend at like a 1% chance.
Right.
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I think the only chance it has of happening is, if by some miracle with all the contact tracing and everything, you end up with a scenario where there were false positives or something like that, and guys can get out. But even still, if that happens, you're still talking about guys that haven't practiced since the middle of last week when they went into, like, could you realistically be ready to roll on such a short turnaround? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think so. You think this could work? So we're having trouble with our speakers today.
That works.
Okay, can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear.
So it's time for Ask Ryan, or Ask Us, actually.
Now just get your head real close to it.
Nah, I think it's good. It catches it on the background.
Yeah, it's good.
I could have done that, I guess, for Kick Rocks, too. I'll just pick it up, little ambient background. Matthew Rogelio, Dylan Landry, James Tyrone, Esteban Estevez, all these folks watching on Facebook, appreciate you. Megan Hurst, shout out to the ladies in our lives.
Yep.
Stephen Miller. He said, Terrio, I know you don't really feel that. I refuse to buy it one bit. Talking about LSU not playing this week.
I'm out. I'm off it.
Ask Scone, when A&M and Tennessee has to postpone and possibly Mississippi State next weekend too, how much shuffling with the SEC to get those games in? I think, Stephen, realistically, what you would see is a full slate of SEC games on December the 19th. That's the day of the SEC championship game.
In conjunction with the SEC championship.
I think you would see a full slate of games on that day. There's no reason that you couldn't play a game that day.
Has anybody said that they would play that day? Have you heard any of that, or is that just...
Again, I don't think it's anybody saying what they would or would not do.
Yeah, no, but they built in that 1 week,
I think everything's fluid. I mean, every conversation that I've ever had, even after Florida and LSU rescheduled, everything that everyone at LSU said was very conscious to say tentatively rescheduled for December 12th. Like, everything has been tentative because everything's fluid. I mean, I very much think it's very fluid. Steven says, Sconey, my man, most times I'm on the same side of the debate as you, but saying the committee would take 9-1 A&M over 10-1 Bama, who housed A&M in the regular season, ain't going to happen. So we're talking about scenarios for the college football playoff. My point is teams that lose in the conference championship game don't make it in. They don't. And to his point, I brought up Penn State. Penn State beat Ohio State a few years back. Penn State went to the Big Ten championship game, won the Big Ten, but Ohio State got in. Like, I hear you, but there is no precedent for a team losing its conference championship game and getting in. I think it would be more likely is you'd have another team outside then, like an undefeated BYU, an undefeated Cincinnati, something like that, get in. I cannot see a team losing its conference championship game and then getting in the playoff.
Yeah.
It's never happened. How much sense does it make to play meaningless games after the regular season? Well, they're not meaningless. They're regular season games.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to win a championship every year. You play the games. You play the games in your schedule.
And the financial piece, I think, is important as well this year.
No doubt.
Extremely important, obviously.
Jay Rochelle asked Matt, how disappointed are you and Ryan for not wanting to play Bama? Very. I don't know that he's being honest, though. I think he is, but I know the competitor in him. If I got you into that locker room and I was like, hey, we're going to play Bama, 4-touchdown underdog. Let's go. Let's roll. Let's do it. What are you going to tell? What are you going to tell Houston Terrio when the Dunham Tigers are lining up against, I don't know, Catholic or somebody that's going to roll them?
I mean,
what are you going to tell Houston Terrio?
If I have my whole
team,
son,
it's not going to go your way today. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Let's hit this one out. Let's hit this one out today. That's what you're going to tell Houston Terrio?
Sometimes you got to know when to cut your losses, man.
Baloney. Pat Englade. What's up, Pat Englade? Said scrap the whole season. It's too confusing to find another number one team. Is that any different than any year in the history of college football? I mean, we all have our preconceived biases with how it's crowned, but college football is the biggest fraud of a postseason in the history of sports. It's the only sport in the history of mankind where you can win every game you play and not win a championship.
Yep. Not even get to the playoffs.
The only sport in the history of mankind where you can win every single game you play and not even have a chance to play for a championship. 504 Hot Boy on YouTube.
Oh, I like that.
BOI too. Hot Boy.
Yeah.
Hot Bois. If he was French, it would be Bois. Ask us, why won't MSM give the Saints, Main Street Media, give the Saints credit they deserve for beating the best team in the NFC? I think they have. Do you think people have been dogging the Saints?
No, I don't think so. I think there's kind of a wait and see approach with the Saints, with everybody collectively nationally. What was it, a dominant game? 100%. I mean, from the start to the finish. They do that a couple more weeks, one more week, similar offensive production. Plus, Saints have had a lot of guys hurt, man. And they're actually they'll be better next week defensively. As good as they played last week, they'll be better next week when you add that piece at linebacker.
You're getting Quan Alexander. That's true. You add in Quan, and you're going to get Sheldon Rankins back at some point, too.
And Sheldon Rankins. I forgot about him. I'm back, dude. I'm on.
Brad Dupuy asked us, how likely is a Clemson Notre Dame both making the playoff? Not likely at all. Yeah. Because if one of those teams loses again, they're not getting into the AC championship game. And as I said, a team that loses conference championship isn't going to the championship game, the playoff. I know you have to go.
Not happening.
I know you have to go. Terry's got to go pick up his kids. Dad life. Shout out to Dr. Green's Ideal Mattress and SleepOutsideTheBox.com. And also shout out to Friendly Power Sports. FriendlyYamaha.com. Thanks for watching, y'all. Play the game. Play the game, Terrio.
Hi, Terrio.
Hi, Terrio.